Today, I'm reading Haunting Adeline. Very much dyslexic. Please hang on to me, it will sound painful. The prologue. The window of my house trembles from the power of thunder rolling across the skies. Lightning strikes in the directions, illuminating the night. In a small moment, a few seconds of blinding light showcases the man standing outside my window, watching me, always watching me. I go through the motions, just like I always do. My heart skips a beat, and I palpitate. My breathing turns shallow, and my hands glow clammy. It doesn't matter how many times I see him, he always pulls the same reaction out of me: fear and excitement. I don't know why it excites me. Something must be wrong with me. It's not normal for liquid heat to course through my veins, leaving tight burning in the wake. It's not common for my mind to start wandering about things I shouldn't. Can he see me now, wearing nothing but a tank top, my nipples poking through the materials, or the shorts I'm wearing that barely covers my ass? Does he like the view? Of course he does. That's why he's watching me, isn't it? That's why he comes every night, growling boulders, with his leading with a silence challenging him, hoping he'll come closer so I have a reason to pick up a knife to his throat. Truth is, I'm scared of him, terrified actually, but the man standing outside my window makes me feel like I'm sitting in a dark room, a single light shining from the television where horror flicks playing on the screen. It's pathetic. It's perfecting. It's pattering, and all I want to do is hide. But there's a distant part of me that keeps me still, bearing myself to horror, that finding a small thrill out of it. It's dark again, and the light striking in areas further away. My breathing continues to escalate. I can't see him, but he can see me. Ripping my eyes away from the window, I turn to look behind me in the darkened house, paranoid that he somehow finds a way inside, no matter how deep the shadows go in passion manner. The black and white checkered floor always seems visible. I inherited this house from my grandparents. My great-grandparents had built the 3-story Victorian house back in the 1940s, through blood, sweat, and tears, and lived through 5 construction workers. Legend says, or rather, Nana says, that the building caught fire and killed the construction workers during the building structure phase. I haven't been able to find any articles on the unfortunate event, but the souls that haunts the manor reeks of despair. Nana always told grotesque stories that wears eye rolls from my parents. Mom never believed anything Nana said, but I think she just doesn't want to. Sometimes I hear footsteps at night. That could be from the ghosts of the workers who died in the tragic fire 80 years ago, or they could be from the shadows that stands outside my house, watching me, always watching me. Chapter 1. The manipulator. Sometimes I have a dark thought about my mother, though no sane daughter should have. Sometimes I'm not always sane. Addie, you're being ridiculous, Mother says, Mom says through the speaker of my phone. I glare at it in response, refusing to argue with her, but I have nothing to say. She sighs loudly. I wrinkle my nose. It blows my mind that this woman always calls Nana dramatic, yet can't see her own flair for the dramatic. Just because your grandparents gave you the house doesn't mean you have to actually live in it. It's old and would be doing everyone in the city a favor if it would been torn down. I thump my head against the headset, rolling my eyes upwards and trying to find patience waving into the stained roof of my car. How did I manage to get catch up there? And just because you don't like it doesn't mean I can't live in it, I retort dryly. My mother is a bitch, plain and simple. She always had a chip on her shoulder, and for the life of me, I can't figure out why. You'll be living an hour from us. That'll be extremely inconvenient for you to come visit us, won't it? Oh, ball will I ever oh, how will I ever survive? Pretty sure my gymnastics is an hour away too, but I still make effort to see her once a year, and those visits are far from more painful. Nope, I replied, dropping the P. I'm over the conversation. My patience only lasts an entire 60 seconds talking to my mother. After that, I'm running on fumes and have no desire to put in any more effort to keep the conversation moving along. If it's not one thing, it's the other. She always managed to find something to complain about. This time, it's my choice to live in a house my grandparents gave me. I grew up in Parson Manor, running along the ghost in the halls and baking cookies with Nana. I have found memories here, memories I refuse to let go of, just because Mom doesn't get along with Nana. I never understood the tension between them, but as I got older and started to comprehend Mother's stagginess and underhanded insults from what they were, it made sense. Nana always had a positive, sunny outlook of life, viewing the world through rose-colored glasses. She always smiled and hummed, while Mom is cursed with perpetual sorrow on her face, and looking at life like her glasses got smashed when she was plugged out of Nana's vagina. I don't know why her personality never developed past that of a porcelain. She was never raised to be a prickly bitch. Growing up, Mom and Dad had a house only a mile away from Parson Manor. She could barely torture me, so I spent most of my childhood in this house. It wasn't until I left for college, Mom moved out of town an hour away. Where I quit college, I moved in with her until I got back on my feet and writing career took off. My writing career took off. And when it did, I decided to travel around the country, never really settling in one place. Nana died about a year ago, gifting me the house in her will, but my grief handled me from moving into Parson Manor until now. Mom sighs again through the phone. I just wish you had more ambitions in life, instead of staying in a town you grew up in, sweetie. Do something more with your life than waste your way in that house like your grandmother did. I don't want you to become worthless like her. I snarled, overtook my face, fairly tearing through my chest. Hey, Mom. Yes? Fuck off. I hung up the phone, angrily smashing my finger into the screen until I heard the dial charm that the call has ended. How dare she speak of her own mother that way, when she was nothing but loved and cherished? Nana certainly didn't treat her the way she treats me. That's for damn sure. I ripped a page from Mom's book and let loose on melodramatic sigh. Turning to look out my side window, said house standing tall, the tip of the black roof sparing through the gloomy clouds and looking over the various wooded area, as if to say, "You shall fear me." Peering over my shoulder, the dense thickness thickened of trees are more inviting, their shadows crawling from the overgrown with outstretching claws. I shiver, delighted in the ominous feeling rapturing from the small position of the cliff. It looks exactly as it did from my childhood. It gave me no less of a thrill to peer into the infinite darkness. Parston Manor is stationed on a cliff's side, overlooking the sounds with a mile-away driveway stretching through a heavy wooded area. The congregations of trees scattered this house from the rest of the world, making you feel like you're well and truly alone. Sometimes it feels like you're on an entirely different planet, ostracized from civilization. The whole area has a menacing, sorrowed aura, and I fucking love it. The house has begun to decay, but it can be fixed up to look like never new again. With a bit of TLC, hundreds of vines crawling all up the side of the structure, climbing towards the glorious station of the roof on either side of the manor. The black siding is fading to a gray and starting to peel away, and the black paint around the windows is chipping like cheap nail polish. I have hired someone to give the large front porch a facelift since it's starting to sag on one side. The lawn is long overdue for a haircut. The blade of the grass nearly as tall as me, and the 3 acres of clearing bush with weeds, burning with weeds. I bet plenty of snakes have settled in nicely since it's been mowed. Oh, dear Lord. Nana used to offset the manor dark shadows with blooms of colored flowers. During the spring season, Hurricane Hennet's the flower names and its autumn flowers would be crawling on the side of the house. The brighten yellow and orange in the petals are beautiful contrasts against the black shade. I can plant a garden around the front of the house again, when the season calls for it this time. I planted strawberries, lettuce, herbs as well. I'm deep in murmuring when my eyes sag on moments from above. Curtains flutter in the loose windows at the very top of the house, the attic. The last time I checked, there's no curtains, certain air up there. Nothing should be able to move those curtains, but yet I don't doubt that what I saw. Coupled with loosing storms in the background, Parson Manor looks like a scene out of a horror film. I suck my bottom lip between my teeth, unbared to stop the smile from forming on my face. I love it. I can't explain why I do. Fuck what my mom says. I'm living here. I'm a successful writer and have the freedom to live wherever, anywhere. So, what if I decide to live in a place that means a lot to me? Doesn't make me a lowlife for staying in my hometown. I travel enough with book tours and conference. Settling down in a house wouldn't change that. I know what the fuck I want, and I don't give a shit what anyone else thinks about it. Especially Mother Dearest. The cloud yawns. The rain spills from their mouth. I grab my purse and step out of my car, inhaling the scent of fresh rain. It turns from light sparkles to a terrible, torrential downpour in matters of seconds. I bolt up the front porch steps, tapping trickling drops of water off my arms and shaking my body like a wet dog. I love storms. I just don't like to be in them. I prefer to cuddle up under a blanket with a snug of tea and a book while listening to the rain fall. I slide the key into the lock and turn it, but it's stuck, refusing to give me even a millimeter. I jimmy the key, wrestling with it until the transmission finally turns and I'm able to unlock the door. Guess I'm gonna have to fix that soon too. A chill draft welcomed me as I opened the door, a shiver from the mix of freezing rain until mixture of freezing rain still wet on my skin and its cold still air. The interior of the house is casting in shadow. Dim lights shim from the window, gradually fading as the sun disappears between gray storm clouds. I feel as if I should start my story with, "It was a dark and stormy night." I look up and smile when I see the black ribbing ceiling, made of hundreds of thin, long pieces of wood. The grand chandelier hanging over my head, golden cere wrapped in intricate design with crystal dangling from the tips. It's always been Nana's most prized possession. The black and white checkered floors laid directly on the black ground staircase, large enough to fit a piano through sideways, and flow into the living room. My boots squeak against the tiles as I venture further inside. The floor is primarily on open concept. The floor is a primary open concept, making it feel like the monterey of a home could swallow you whole. The living area is to the left of the staircase. I perk my lips and look around. Nostalgic hits me straight in the gut. Dust coats every surface, and the smell of mothball is overpowering, but it looks exactly how I last saw it, right before Nana died last year. A large black stone fireplace in the center of the living room on the far left wall, with red velvet square around it, and or tin wood coffee table singing in the middle, an empty vase atop the dark wood. Nana used to fill it with lilies, but now it's only collecting dust and bugs' carcasses. The walls are covered with black parsley wallpaper, offsetting by heavy golden curtains. One of my favorite parts is the large bay window at the front of the house, providing a beautiful view of the forest beyond Parse Manor. Placed right in front of it is a red velvet rocking chair with a matching stool. Nana used to sit there and watch the rain, and she said her mother would always do the same. The checker tiles extend into the kitchen with beautiful black stairs, stained carpet, cabinets, and marble countertops. A massive island sits in the middle with black bar stools leaning on one side. Grandpa and I used to sit there and watch Nana cook, enjoying her humming to herself as she wrapped up delicious meals. Snarking away the memories, I rushed over to the top lamp by the rocking chair and flick on a light. I release a sigh of relief when a butter soft glow emanates from the bulb. A few days ago, I had called to get units turned on in my name, but you can never be too sure when dealing with old houses. When I walked out to the milestone, the number certainly another silver to wreck my body. 62 golden degrees. Goddamn degrees. I pursed my thumb on into the up arrow and didn't stop until the temperature 62 goddamn degrees. I pressed my thumb onto the arrows and didn't stop until the temperature is set to 74. I don't mind a cool temperature, but I prefer it if my nipples didn't cut through all my clothes. I turned back around and faced a home that both old and new, a home that's my house, my heart since I could remember. Even if my body left for a while, and when I smiled, breaking in gothic gore of Parson Manor, it's how my great-grandfather decorated it. Great-grandparents decorated the house. And the taste of passing down through the generations. Nana used to say that she liked it, but when she was the brightest thing in the room, despite that, she still had an old person taste. I mean, really, why do white throwing pillows have a batter of lace around them? And a weird embroidered bouquet of flowers in the middle. That's not cute. That's ugly. I sighed. Well, Nana, I came back just like you wanted, I whispered in the dead air. Are you ready? My personal assistant asked from behind. I glanced over at Marinette. Nodding how she absolutely holds out the mic to me, her attention ensured on the people still flattered into the small building. This local bookstore wasn't built from a large number of people, but somehow making it work anyways. Hordes of people are piling into the cramped space, hovering in... Oh, it's like a different part. Hordes of people are piling into a cramped space, covering in unformed line and waiting for a signing to start. My eyes hover over the crowd, silent, counting in my head. I lose count after 30. Yep, I said. I grabbed the mic, and after catching everyone's attention, the murmurs faded to silence. Dozens of eyeballs bearing into me, creating a flush all the way to my cheeks. It makes my skin crawl, but I love my readers, so I power through it. Before we start, I just wanted to take a quick second to thank you all for coming. I appreciate each and every one of you, and I'm incredibly excited to meet you all. Everyone ready? I asked, forcing excitement into my tone. It's not that I'm not excited, I just tend to get increasingly awkward during book signings. I'm not a natural when it comes to social events. Interaction. I'm the type to stare dead into your face with a frozen smile after being asked a question while my brain processed the fact that I didn't even hear the question. It's usually because my heart is trembling too loud in my ears. I settle down in my chair and ready my Sharpie. Marinette runs off to handle other matters, shooting me a quick good luck. She witnessed me missharp with readers and has a tendency to get second-handed embarrassment with me. Guess it's one of the downfalls of representing a social pith. Come back, Marinette. It's so much more fun when I'm not the only one getting embarrassed. The first reader approached me, my book, The Wanderer, in her hand, with a bearing smile on her freckled face. Oh my god, it's so awesome to meet you, she exclaimed, nearly shoving the book in my face. Totally a me move. I smiled widely and gently took the book. It's awesome to meet you too, I returned. And hey, Team Freckles? I tracked on, waving my forefinger between her face and mine. She gave a bit of an awkward laugh. Her fingers drafted over her cheeks. What's your name? I rushed out before we stuck on a weird conversation about skin condition. Gee, Addie, what if she hates her freckles, dumbass? Megan, she replied, and then spelled her name out. My hand trembled as I carefully write her name and quickly abstraction note. My signature is sloppy, but that pretty much represents the entirety of my existence. I hand the book back and thank her with a genuine smile. As the next reader approached, pressure settles on my face. Someone is staring at me, but that's fucking stupid because everyone's staring at me. I try to ignore it and give the next reader a big ass smile, but the feeling feels intenseful until it feels like a bee are buzzing beneath the surface of my skin while a torch is being held to my face. It's unlike anything I felt before. The hair on my back of my neck rises, and I feel the apples on my cheeks heated to a bright red. Half of my attention is on the book I'm signing and the gushing readers, while the other half is on the crowd. My eyes stumbled, sweeping the extent of the bookstore, attempting to scope out the source of my discomfort without making it obvious. Excuse me. My gaze hones on a lone person standing in the very back, a man. The crowd snarls, shouts the majority of his body. Only bit of his face peeks through the gasp between people's head, but what I do see his head thrilling mid-writing. But what I do see as my hand stalls mid-writing, his eyes, one as so dark and bottomless it feels like staring into a well, and the other an ice blue so light it's nearly written, reminding me of husky eyes. A scarred slash straight down through the discolored eyes, as if it didn't really demand attention. Then a throat clear. When I cleared my throat, I jumped, scratching my eyes away and looking back at the book. My Sharpie has been resting in the same spot, creating a big black dot. Sorry, I muttered, finishing off my signature. I reach over and smudge a bookmark, signing that too, and tucked it into the book as an apology. The reader beams at me. Mistakes always forgiven, and scoffed off with her book. Then I looked back at the man. He's gone. Next segment. Addie, you need to get laid. What the fuck? In response, I whipped my lips around my straw and slurped my blueberry martini as deeply as my mouth will allow. Donna, my best friend, eyes me, entirely unimpressed and impatient based on the quick of my bow. I think I need a bigger mouth. More alcohol would fit in it. I didn't say that out loud because I can bet my left ass cheek that her follow response would be to use it for a bigger dick instead. When I continue sucking on my straw, she reached over and ripped the plastic from my lips. I reached the bottom of the glass a solid 15 seconds ago and just have been sucking air through the straw. It's the most attention my mouth have gotten in years now. Whoa, personal space, I mumbled, setting the glass down. I avoid Donna's eyes, searching the restaurants for the waitress so I can order another martini. The faster I have the straw in my mouth again, the sooner I can avoid this conversation some more. Don't deflect, bitch, you can suck it. Our eyes met. A beat pays and we both burst into laughter. A beef paused and we both burst into laughter. I suck at getting laid too, apparently. I say after our laughing calms. Donna gives me the dull look. You had plenty of opportunities, you just don't take them. You're a hot 26-year-old woman with freckles, a great pair of tits, an ass to die for. Men are out here waiting. I shrugged, deflecting again. Donna isn't exactly wrong, at least. But having opinions, I'm just not interested in any of them. They all bore me. All I get is, what are you wearing and wanna come over? Winky face? At 1 o'clock in the morning, I'm wearing the same sweatpants I've been wearing the past week. There's an ominous stain on my crotch. There's a mysterious stain on my crotch. And no, I don't want to fucking come over. Oh. She flipped out of eccentric hands. Give me your phone. My eyes wander. Fuck no. Adeline, really, give me your fucking phone. Or what? I taunted. Or I'll throw myself across the table, embarrass the absolute shit out of you, and get my way anyways. My eyes finally caught on the waitress and flagged her down. Desperately, she rushed over, probably thinking I found a hair in my food, when really my best friend just has one up her ass right now. I procrastinate a little bit longer, asking the waiter what drink she preferred. I looked through the drink menu a second time if it wasn't rude to keep her waiting when she had other tables. So I'll pick a strawberry martini in flavors of green apples, and the waitress rushed off again. Sigh. I hand my phone over, slapping it in Donna's still reached out hand. It cited extra films, extra firm because I hate her. Her smile trembles and starts typing away. The mysterious glimmer in her eyes glows brighter. Her thumb goes into turbo speed, causing the golden ring wrapping around them to nearly blur. Her sage green eyes are illusioned with a type of evilness you could only find in Satan's Bible. If I did a little digging, I'm sure I'll find her picture somewhere in there, too. A bombshell with dark brown skin, pin straight black hair, and a golden hoop in her nose. She's probably an evil succubus or something. Who are you texting? I growl, nearly stomping my feet like a child. I refrain, but come close to allowing a little of my social anxiety air out and do something crazy like throw a temper tantrum in the middle of a restaurant. It probably doesn't help that I'm on my third martini and feeling a tad adventurous right about now. She glanced up and looked at my phone and handed it back a few seconds later. Immediately, I unlocked it again and started searching through my message. I groan along once more when I see her. She texted Grayson. Not texted, sexted. Come over tonight. Lick my pussy and I've been craving your huge cock. I read aloud dryly. That's not even all of it. The rest goes into how horny I am touching myself every night to the thought of him. I growl and give her the faithful look the finest look I can manage. My face looks like a dumpster, makes a dumpster look like a clean house. What? I wouldn't even say that, I complain. That doesn't even sound like me, you bitch. Donna clenched the teeny little glimpse between her teeth on full display. I really do hate her. My phone pings. Donna is nearly bouncing in her seat while I'm contemplating Google 1,000 ways to die contact information so I can send them a new story. Read it, she demands. Her grabby hands already reached for my phone so she can see what he said. I jerked it off of her reach and pulled up the message. Grayson, about time you come to your senses, babe. Come over at 8. I don't know if I ever told you this, but I really fucking hate you. I grumbled, giving her another scarl. Her smile slips on her lips. I love you too, baby girl. Next part. Fuck, Addie, I missed you. Grayson's breathes into my neck. Ew. Humbling me against the wall. Ew. My tailbone is going to be bruised in the morning. I roll my eyes when he slurps at my neck again. Ew. Growling when he rolls his dick into the appendix of my thighs. Deciding I need to get over myself and ball off some steam. I didn't cancel on Grayson like I wanted to. I regret that decision. Certainly when he has me pinned against the wall in the creepy hallway, old-fashioned sitcom line, the red wall with dozens of family portraits from generations in between. I feel like they're watching me, snarling and disappointment in their eyes as they witness their descendants about to get railed from right in front of them. Only a few of the lights work and they just start illuminating the spider webs they're crawling with. The rest of the hallways is shadows entirely, and I'm just waiting for the demon from the Gordon to come crawling out so I can have an excuse to run. I would definitely tip Grayson on the way out at this point, and not 1 inch of me is ashamed. I would definitely trip Grayson on the way out at this point, and not 1 inch of me is ashamed. He murmurs some dirty things into my ear while I impacts the scarl hanging above his head. Expects the scarl hanging above his head. Grayson said in passing once he scared of spider webs. I wonder if I can discoverably reach up, pick a spider from its web, and put it in his back, put it down Grayson's shirt. That would light a fire under his ass to get him out of here. And he probably be too embarrassed to talk to me again. Win-win. Just when I actually go to do it, he reached back, panting from all the solo French kissing he's been doing with my throat. Ugh. It's like he was waiting for my neck to lick him back or something. His chopped hair is messed from my hand, and his pale skin is stained with blush. The curse of being a redhead, I suppose. Oh. Grayson has everything else going for him in the look department. He's hot as sin, as a beautiful body and killer smile too. Not too bad he can't fuck and is a complete utter douchebag. Let's take this to the bedroom. I need to be inside you now. Ew. Internally, I cringe. Extremely, I cringe. I try to play it off by jerking my shirt over my head. He has the attention span of a bagel, and just like I suspected, he already forgotten about my little bladder and is staring. Blunder in his staring? Intently at my tits. Donna was right about that too. I do have great tits. He reached up to tear my bra from my body. I probably would have smacked him if he actually ripped it, but he froze when a loud bang interrupted us from the main floor. The sound is so sudden, so violently loud that I gasped. My heart pounded in my chest. Our eyes met in stained silence. Someone is pounding on the front door, and they didn't sound too nice. Are you expecting someone? He asked, his hand dripping to his side, seemingly frustrated by the interruption. No, I breathed. I quickly tugged my shirt back on backwards and rushed down to check creak steps. Taking a moment to check outside the window next to the door. I see the front porch is vacant. My brows frown, letting the curtains fall. I stand in front of the door, the stillness of the night closing in the manor. Grayson walks up behind me and looks over at me in a confused expression. You gonna answer that? He asks, dumbly pointing at the door as if I didn't know it was right in front of me. I almost thanked him for the direction just to be an ass, but refrain. Some things about the knock was my instincts blaring code red. The knock sounded aggressive, angry, like someone had pounded on the door with all their strength. A real man would offer to open the door for me after hearing such a violent sound. especially when we're surrounded in miles of thick wood and hundreds of feet drop into the water. But instead, Grayson stares at me expectantly and a little like a stupid huffling and a little like I'm stupid. Huffled, I unlocked the door and whipped it open. Again, no one is there. I stepped out into the porch and rotten floorboards groan beneath my weight. Cold wind stirs my cinnamon hair, and the standing tickled my face, and the strands tickled my face, and sending shivers racing across my skin. Goosebumps rise as I tuck my hair behind my ears and walk out to the end of the porch. Leaning on the railing, I look down to the side of the house. No one. No one on the other side of the house either. There could easily be someone watching me in the woods, but I have no way of knowing that with it being so dark. No, not unless I go out there and search myself. As much as I love horror films, I have no intention in starring in one. Grayson joined me on the porch. His own eyes started scanning the trees. There's someone watching me. I can feel it. I'm sure of it as I'm about the existence of gravity. Chills run down my spine, accompanied by a blast of Adeline. Adeline? It's the same feeling I get when I watch scary movies. It begins with the beat of my heart, when a heavy weight startles deep in my stomach. Eventually sinking to my core, I shift, not entirely uncomfortable with the feeling right now. Huffled, I push back into the house and up the steps. Grayson trailed behind me. I didn't notice in the middle of the dressing as he walked down the hallways until he stepped into my room after me. When I turned, he's strike naked. Seriously, I bite out. What a fucking idiot. Someone just banged on the door like the wood personally put a splinter up their ass, and he's immediately ready to pick up where he left off. Slipping on my neck, like one would slip jello from out of a container. What? He asked, incisively, spraying his arms out to his side. Did you not just hear what I heard? Someone was banging on my door, and it was kind of scary. I'm not in the mood to have sex right now. What happened to clarity? I would think a normal man would ask if I'm okay. But feeling out how I'm feeling, feels out how I'm feeling. Maybe try to make sure I'm nice and relax before sticking their dick inside me. Read the fucking room. I can't read this book. You serious? He questions, angrily sparking his brown eyes. There's a shitty color. There's shitty color, just like his shitty personality, and then shitty stroke game, and his even shittier stroke game. The dude gives fish a run for their money. The way he flops when he fucks. Might as well lay out naked in the fish market. He has a better chance of finding someone to take home. That person is not going to be me. Yes, I'm serious, I said with exhaustion. God damn it, Addie, he snaps angrily, swiping up a sock and putting it on. He looks like an idiot, completely naked, saves for a single sock. Because the rest of his clothes is still thrown hazardly in my hallway. He storms out of my room, scratching up articles of clothing as he goes. When he goes up about halfway down the hallway, he stops and turns to me. "You're such a bitch, Addie. All you do is give me blue balls, and I'm sick of it. I'm done with you and your creepy fucking house." He stims, pointing at me. "And you're an asshole. Get the fuck out of my house, Grayson." His eyes wander with a shock first, and then narrows into thin still, brimming with fury. He turns his cock in his arms back and send his flying into a dry well. I gasp and ripped from my throat when half of his arm disappeared, my mouth panting in both shock and disbelief. "Since I'm not getting yours, though, I'm certainly my own hole to get through the night. Fix that bitch." "What?" You're an asshole. Get the fuck out of my house, Grayson." His eyes wander with a shock first, then narrow into still, burning with fear. He turns, cock his arm back, and send his fist flying into the drywall. "Oh!" He punched a hole in her wall. "Since I'm not getting yours tonight, thought I'll create my own hole to get into tonight. Fix that bitch." He slips, still sporting only one sock and arm full of clothes. He storms off. "You dick," I rage, stomping towards the large hole in my wall he just created. The front door slams a minute later from below. I hope the mysterious person is still out there. Let that asshole get murdered wearing a single sock. And then there's a little letter on the side. March 19th, 1944. I'm so led. I'm shocking. John has gambled away everything. Everything. Normally John is the one that handles the bills since he's bringing home the money. But then I found out that our savings have been depleted. He made promises he couldn't keep. And I knew I lost my husband to a poker chip. Now we are at risk of losing the house, and I'm terrified. I couldn't bear the thought of our daughter losing her home. I don't know how I'll ever sleep now. I broke down in tears. He gambled away all our money, and I don't know how to stop him. We used to be so happy. Now he's a shipwreck, broken, with no home. Kissy on the bottom. Chapter 2. How long is chapter 2? 10 pages. I could do this. Chapter 2. The Shadows. The screams of pain bounce around the concrete cabinet walls are getting a tad annoying. Sometimes it sucks being the hacker and enforcer. I really fucking enjoy hurting people. But tonight, I have no goddamn patience for this whole whiny asshole. And normally, I have the patience of the saints. I know how to wait for what I want most. But when I'm trying to get some real answers and the dude too busy shitting his pants crying to give me a coherent response, I get a little testy. This knife is going is about to go halfway through your eyeball, I warned. I'm not even going to show you any mercy and shove it all the way through to your brain. Fuck, man, he cries. I told you that I just wanted to. I went to the warehouse a few times, and I don't know anything about some fucking rental. Rental? So you're useless is what you're saying. I surmise, inching the blade towards his eyes. He squeezes them shut as if skin that's no thicker than a centimeter is going to prevent the knife from going through his eyes. Fucking laughable. No, he howled. I know someone there that might be able to give you some more information. Sweat dripped down his nose, mixing with blood on his face. His ungrown, greasy, blonde hair is matted to his forehead and the back of his neck. Guess it's not actually blonde anymore, since most of it is painted red now. I already cut off one of his ears, along with ripping off 10 of his fingernails, serving both arched heels, a couple of stab wounds in the specific locations that wouldn't allow the fucker to bleed out too quickly, and too many broken bones to count. Dickhead wouldn't be getting up and walking out of here, that's for damn sure. Less crying, more talking, I barked, scraping the tip of the knife against his still closed eyelid. He carried away from the knife, tears blouged out from beneath his eyelashes. His name is John. He's one of the operation leaders in charge with the warehouse, basically running the whole thing there. John what? I snapped. He sobs. I don't know, man, he wailed. He just introduced himself as John. Then what does he look like? I grinned out immediately through gritted teeth. He sniffles, snot leaking down his chapped lips, bald, as a scar cutting across his hairline, and a beard. You can't miss the scar. It's a pretty fucked look. I rolled my neck, growling, as a muscle popped. It's been a long fucking day. Cool, thanks, man, I say, casually, as if I haven't been torturing him slowly for the past 3 hours. His breathing calmed, and he looked up at me through ugly brown eyes, hoping rapidly from them in spared. I almost laughed. You're letting me go? He asked, staring up at me like a goddamn stray puppy. Sure, I chipped. If you can get up and walk. He looked down at his stained heel, knowing just as well as I do, standing, his body would go pitching forward. Please, man, he bubbled. Can you help me out here? I nodded slowly. Yeah, I think I can do that, I said right after I swiped my arm back and plunged the entirety of my knife through his pupil. He died instantly. Not even all the hope has vanished from his eyes yet, or rather, his one eye. You're a child rapist. Holy fucking shit, I say aloud, though he no longer capable of hearing me. Like I'll let you live, I finish on a laugh. I slide my knife back from the socket, and the squelching noises threatening to remain any dinner plans I had in the next several hours. which is annoying because I'm hungry. While I do enjoy myself a good torture session, I'm definitely not a dickhead that gets off on the sound of that accompaniment. The grabbling, slurping, and the other weird sounds bodies makes when enduring extreme pain and for an object being plunged into them is not a soundtrack that I fall asleep to. And now, for the worst part, dismissing into a bit of peace and disposing of them properly. I don't trust other people to do that for me, so I'm stuck with the tedious and messy job. I sigh. What is that saying? What you want it done right? If you want it done right, do it yourself. Well, in this case, if you don't want to get caught and in charge for murder, dispose of the body for yourself. Next part. It feels like 10 o'clock at night, but it's only 5 p.m. As fucked as it is after dealing with human body parts, I'm in the mood for a mean-ass burger. My favorite burger joint is right off the 3rd Avenue and not too far from a drive from my house. Parking is a bitch unsettled, so I'm forced to park a few blocks away and walk there. A storm rolls in, and soon sheets of rain will be directly on our heads and shoulders like ice picks. Typically settling weather. I wrestled an unnamed tune as I walked down the street, passing shops and an array of stores with people bursting in and out like a bunch of worker ants. Ahead of me, there's a bookstore lit up. The warm glow shimmers into the cold, wet pavement and impaired passengers until it's warmer. As I near, I notice it's packed full of people. I spare it a single glance before moving on. I don't care about fiction books. I only read the ones that are going to teach me something, practically about computer science and hacking. But now, there's nothing those books can teach me anymore. I mastered and surpassed it. As I turn my head to look at the store, some other shits, my eyes get caught up on the board right outside the store. A spiraling face beams at me without permission. My feet slow until they're glued to the center sidewalk. Someone bumped into me from behind. Their small structure barely knocking me forward, but it does manage to jolt me out of the weird trance I fell into anyways. I turned to glance at the guy behind me, their mouth open and glared up to curse me out. Yet the second he gets one look at my scarred face, he takes off into the sidewalk, half running. He takes off into a half walk, half run. I laugh if I weren't so distracted. Before me is a picture of an author that's hosting a book signing. She's fucking incredible. Long, wave cinnamon hair brushes over the drained shoulder. Creamy ivory skin with freckles dotting her nose and cheeks, light and spotted without overwhelming her innocent face. Her eyes are what draws me in, stunningly stained eyes, the type that always looks seductive without trying, that nearly the same color as her hair, a brown so light it's unusual. One look from the girl and any man would be on their knees. Her lips are perk and pink, scratched into a radiant smile with straight white teeth. A note that the name below of the picture. Adeline Rayleigh. A beautiful name fitting for a goddess. She doesn't have the plastic beauty you see lining the magazine racks, though she could make it on one of those covers without Photoshop and surgery. Her structures are natural. I've seen a lot of beautiful women in my fucked a lot too, but something about her captivates me. It feels like a hurricane is at my back, pushing me towards her and leaving no room for resistance. My feet carry me into the bookstore. My black boot squeaks the welcome mat of the entrance. The only lingering scent fills the air is one of the attendant form books. Though the convalesced from the large group of people congregating the large area. The small structure wasn't built to house more than 10 large bookshelves, leaving the side of the room the small checkout desk on the right side, and maybe 30 people. Now there's a large table in the middle of the room where the author sits, and at least double the capacity limit packed in the scuffy store. It's too hot in here, too crowded, and one asshole beside me keeps poking his nose, his dirty hands touching all over the books he's holding. I glimpse really on the cover. Poor girl, forcing to sign a book for that probably was a bummer all over it. I open my mouth, ready to tell the fucker to stop looking for treasure in his nasal when it feels like heaven's opens gates. In that second, the person in front of us seems to part at the perfect angle, providing me with a clear view. I only see her from the corner of my eye at first, but the small glimpse is enough to send my heart into a tailspin. My head turns like one of those creepy bitches in the Exorcist movie. Slow and instant of an evil smile. I'm sure I look like I just found out that there's evidence on Earth that the Earth is actually flat or some shit. Because that's also fucking laughable. Oxygen, words, concrete thoughts, all that shit escapes me when I get my first look at Adeline Rayleigh in the flesh. Shit. She's even more expected and eccentric in person. The sight of her has me on my knees, weaking and my pulse racing. I don't know if God really exists. I don't know if mankind has ever walked on the moon, nor do I know if the parallel universe exists. But what I do know is that I just found the meaning of life standing behind the table with an awkward smile on her face. Taking a deep breath, I find a spot against the wall in the back. I don't want to get any closer yet. No, I just want to watch her for a while. So I stay in the back, peeking through the dozens of heads to get a good look. Looking at her, thank God for my height, because I probably barely through everybody if I was short. A tall, willowed woman hands my new obsession in microphone. And for a brief moment, the letter looks like she's ready to bolt, She stares at the mic as if the woman is handing over a severed head, but the look is gone the second. Barely there before she slides her marker in place, and then she scratches the microphone and brings it to her wibbled lips. Before we get started. Fuck, her voice is pure smoke. The kind you really only hear in porn videos. I suck the bottom of my lips, biting back a growl. I lean against the wall and watch her, absolutely enthralled with the little creature before me. Something intensely dark arises in my chest. It's black and evil and cruel, dangerous even. All I want to do is break her, shatter her into pieces, and arrange those pieces to fit against my own. I don't care if they don't fit, I'm fucking making them. And I know I'm about to do something bad. I know that I'm going to cross the line that I will never be able to come back from. But that's not an ounce of me that gives a fuck. Because I'm obsessed. I'm addicted. And I will gladly cross every single line if it means making this girl mine. If it means forcing her to be mine. My mind has already been made up. The decision forfeits the grandson in my brain. At the moment, her wandering eyes slides right into mine, clashing with a force that nearly sends my knees to the ground. Her eyes roll to the corner ever so slightly, as if she just interrupted by me as I am by her. And then the reader before her is slipping the tension away, and I know I need to leave now before I do something stupid like kidnap her in front of 50 witnesses. No matter, she won't be able to escape me now. I just found myself a little mouse, and I won't stop until I trapped her. April 4th, 1944. There's a strange man outside my window. I do not know who he is or what he wants from me, but I think he knows me. He watches me through the window when John is not home. He wears a fardin on his head, clashing his face before me. I haven't told John yet. I cannot fathom why, but something keeps me from opening my mouth and uttering that man is watching me in the shadows. John wouldn't handle it well. He'll go out with his shotgun and try to find him. I must admit, I'm more afraid of what would happen to my visitor should my husband succeed. I'm very afraid of this strange man, but my God, am I entitled. Kissy face. That is chapter 2, and I'm gonna stop there because reading is really hard. Thank you.